Welcome to Raja Reads. I'm Masood Raja, and on this channel, I introduce you to books from different parts of the world. And today, I will be introducing you to Aravind Adiga's 2008 novel, The White Tiger. The novel came out in 2008 and also won that year's Man Booker Prize, which is one of the most prestigious British prize for international fiction, but for also the novel in English. Now, if you look at the novel itself, it is a specific genre of writing because it mimics what we call the epistolary novel. And what an epistolary novel basically is, that it is written in the form of letters, epistle being the letter. And most of the novel is written in forms of letters by our protagonist, whose name is Balram Halwai, right? Addressed to the Chinese premier who is visiting India. So part of it is deeply satirical, right? Because here is this guy, an entrepreneur, a capitalist, writing to the leader of the so-called communist nation about his own capitalistic successes. But that is a pretty humorous, formalistic aspect of the novel. Now, a little bit about the title. It is explained within the novel, but typically a white tiger is the rarest of tigers you can find anywhere. It's an anomaly, right? It happens one in many thousands. And so what we are led to believe is that our protagonist, Balram Halwai, is a sort of a white tiger. That's what his teacher in the village calls him. And the reason he's a white tiger is because he was born poor in rural India. He managed to get some rudimentary education, then moved to the city, got a job, and then eventually ends up owning his own business. So that is what makes him such a rare person. Now, the novel on a deeper level deals with really, really serious issues of global capitalism. So what we learn as we read the story is Balram Halwai, as he tells his own story, moves from the village, becomes a driver to this powerful business family. And he gets the job of driving, their son, who has returned from America, highly educated, with his wife. And that's where he gets to see how the upper crust of India live their lives, and what is the role of so-called workers, servants, and everyone else in their life. And then he also learns that a lot of times when the owners get drunk and maybe have a traffic accident, the driver is made to take the fall. So in a way, he's becoming aware of his own class location within the given economy, but he's also studying these people. He is trying to figure out a way out so that he can be autonomous and do his own thing. But he's also caught within the pulls and pressures of the power that these people hold on someone who comes from a small village, because you are not alone. You have a whole family connected to you. So if you do something wrong within this form of capital, which is in Marxian terms, not real subsumption of labor, but formal subsumption of labor. The system has become capitalistic, but the social structure is still pre-capitalistic. So if you do something wrong as a driver working for a powerful family, not only can you be punished, but your family can also be punished. So that makes it extremely hard for anyone in this situation like Balram Halwai to make a move, even quit a job, because so much depends on it. So one day, as he's driving his master and his wife, or just his master who's carrying a lot of cash in the car, he finally makes the ultimate decision, right? He kills his master, takes the money, and runs. Now he runs with one of his nephews who was staying with him. When he makes that choice, he already knows that, of course, he's killing someone, so that's bad. That he'll become a criminal and a wanted man, that's bad. But he also knows that in retaliation, his entire family in the village will be wiped out. And that is what makes him the rarest of white tigers, because he is willing to take that chance. And this he writes in his letters, right, to the Chinese premier. Now with that money, then he builds his own business. It's kind of a transport delivery business, but he forms it as a totally different socially responsible business. So people who work for him, he takes care of them. He provides them housing, healthcare. Women and men, all who work for him, are really taken care of. So in a way, then, one thing that the novel teaches us, maybe romantically, is that someone who has suffered at the hands of an oppressive order, when they become free and they become autonomous, maybe they will not become oppressive like their oppressors. That's the kind of hope we get. To me, that is a bit too romantic, because one big problem in any revolutionary politics or revolutionary strategy is to safeguard against the oppressed becoming the oppressors. And the other problem, of course, is that his fortune, his new business, is built upon a transgressive act, an act that forces him or encourages him to eliminate his master. So we can think about the novel in those terms. And it doesn't excuse his action, of course. But do also keep in mind that the wealth of the mighty of the world is also created by the suffering and death of thousands and thousands of people. So why is it that his action to us comes across as wrong and immoral, whereas right in front of us there are corporations, individuals who are wealthier than God, right? And majority of that wealth has come by either oppressing other people or silencing other people or literally exploiting other people. So these are some of the lessons that the novel teaches us. But by and large, it's a story of Balram Halwai. Literally, Balram Halwai means Balram the sweet maker, okay? Who comes from a small village, gets a little bit of education, gets a job, then eliminates his master, steals his money, and builds his own business. Okay, that is roughly the plot. Now, within that, we learn, maybe, is this the only path available to the workers, right? To eliminate their masters and take ownership of their destinies. The novel is not very openly revolutionary. It's actually very humorous and satirical. But these are some of the lessons that you can look for in the novel. Now, if you're a researcher planning to write about this novel, there are several issues that you can write about. You can write about the formalistic style, the epistolary style that Adiga uses, right? And what are the benefits of that? You can also write about the questions of agency, right? How do the oppressed eliminate their masters and take control of their lives? You could also write about the formal subsumption of labor versus real subsumption of labor, and how is the global economy structured, where neoliberal capital still uses the social hierarchies to its own advantage, and what are the possibilities of disrupting that. All of these issues will form part of a good research paper or a research project. Overall, not to be too technical, a really, really wonderful read if you want to read one novel which is rich and sophisticated, but could also form a really nice summer read. I highly recommend it. Do check it out. Aravind Adiga's The White Tiger. Thank you so much for your time. If you have any questions, anything that you would like me to answer, please post it in the comments, and I'll be very happy to respond to them. That's all from me. Thank you so much, and as always, peace and love.